All right, it says we're live. Welcome back to
Right.
PoliPictures, a PoliPodcast on the PoliPictures YouTube page. This is episode 11. We're going to do,
There we go.
hang on, let me cut you in here. There you go. Now you're lined
Hey.
up.
I got the
I had you
notification
cut
that we're
off
live right
on
now.
the
That's
live
awesome.
stream, but it's all good now.
Oh.
I promise.
That's okay. I've always been told I have a face for radio, so I mean, it's if I'm seen, if I'm
Me
heard and
too,
not seen, that's all
actually.
right.
People have told me like I have a good radio voice, so I don't know if that means like my looks too match up, but who knows? I don't know. Anyways, we're here to talk WrestleMania 36, Night 2. And in my opinion, this night was better than the first night. I don't know how you felt about it, Robert.
Hands down. I mean, other than a few bright spots on night one, like night two is definitely where they went all out.
So let's get right into it. Pre-show, kickoff show, Liv Morgan, Natalya. Did that go about how you thought?
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I didn't know what to think of it. They were being really nice to each other, and you could I don't know if they're trading partners or what's going on there, but they were being really nice to each other, and then just all of a sudden, Liv Morgan wins, and Natalya looks pissed, and I don't know.
It was a kickoff show.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
Natalya keeps losing.
I think that's what she's doomed to. I mean, how do you have a member of the Hart family, the only woman trained in the dungeon, and you don't have her as a key figure in your women's division? I just don't understand. But
well, then we got to the main card, and we started out with a bang with the women's NXT Championship match, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Oh, that to me was surprising. But then you texted me, you're like, you want to start out with a good match.
Exactly, and honestly, that one, if it hadn't been for what happened later in the night, would have been my match at WrestleMania, because that was without a doubt one of the better than any match we saw on night one.
It lived up to the expectations, like it really did.
Mm-hmm. I think that's where Baszler and Becky dropped the ball. Is it really didn't kind of live up to the expectation. Like Baszler had been built up to be this monster, and you kind of expected a better performance out of that, and then it was just really even. And
it almost would have been better.
Becky ended up winning.
Becky was humbled and just got her ass kicked for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
But so, this one, I mean,
where I think that's where Charlotte and Charlotte and Rhea Ripley did it much better. Is that it was competitive because it should have been, but the story had been that she had gone after the knee to kind of give herself an advantage, and then she just took advantage of that knee all night. And Queen proved that she's the queen. She showed why. It took every move in her arsenal, plus both of them, and it was incredible.
The intensity too. I mean, with not a crowd, you got to give it up to these wrestlers. Just the intensity to still bring it, even without having that live audience. It was insane, and you could tell Charlotte's strategy right away was going for the knee.
Oh yeah, and I even like the swerve at the beginning of it where Ripley hits her finish right out the gate, and you think, oh god, it's gonna be one of those 3-minute matches. No, it looked great. It was a hell of a good swerve, and it was the only time I really thought Ripley had a chance of winning the match.
I would love to see a rematch once the virus is over and we can get it in front of an audience. I think that would be a great, to do another one with these two.
Yeah. I hope so. Actually, that's kind of things I was hoping to discuss going forward. At the end of this video is maybe what's going to happen in post WrestleMania.
Yeah, we can get to that because I had some thoughts too as I was watching. But yeah, that was a hell of a way to start.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to Alistair Black and
then
Bobby Lashley.
Oh no. Now, again, I didn't catch the end of this one. I'm probably I had to go pay my rent, but I am assuming it ended with a black mass spin kick, right?
Part. He lands that kick so well. It's like Shawn Michaels almost. And,
Bobby Lashley is, when he debuted on like ECW in the early 2000s, like they thought he was going to be the next Brock Lesnar. He was, such a beefcake, and he needs somebody, but that's where they're actually kind of right. He needs somebody to do his talking for him, and he just doesn't have the same natural charisma and like aura that Brock Lesnar does.
Brock has
unfortunately,
that evil smile.
Yeah, and Lashley just doesn't. Like, you see him as a big beefcake, but then again, he loses a lot of matches, and he's just, when you see him do his promos, he's always like really nice guy, and so you kind of know that Lesnar is an asshole in real life. Well, but like Lashley just hasn't shown that really killer instinct that makes me think of him as a threat, and I don't think I'm ever going to see it at this point.
The muscle, and he doesn't really have any depth to his character.
Mm-mm. So I'm glad to see Black won. He's definitely the edgier, like cooler character, and I kind of hope they give him some kind of worthwhile feud in the near future because.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got one of the cooler ones in WWE arena, packed of people or not. He's got one of the better ones. So I hope they give him a little more meaningful future like rivalry here in the near future, maybe against another really good striker, and then let them have a really good match. Yeah. But we'll see how that goes.
Or he's not really a striker though, but
oh god. They've killed Ricochet so bad. Like, I don't understand that one either. Like, he was such a boon for their signing, for them to sign. He was one of the major stars of another thing called Lucha Underground. He was one of their top stars, and so he was a great get. And they've just, like, after NXT, just treated him so badly. Getting squashed and just...
he is so athletic, too. It's a shame that they're treating his character as such, like giving him Brock Lesnar. And I don't know.
For the life of me, I can't figure out, like, there's just a bunch of people that, for some reason or other, they've just declared, we're just not that into them. But we've got them on contract for 3 or 4 years, so we're just going to fuck with them for a while. And then, after that, we're going to beg them to stay with us, give them a lot of money. But hopefully they're smart enough to take less money, go to a different place like AEW or TNA or something, and at least they have a better chance.
It'll be interesting. I have thoughts on that too, especially after watching the Edge documentary, but we'll get to that. Otis and Dolph Ziggler was next.
Oh,
it was hilarious.
That was cute. I mean, there's no other words. It was just cute. Ziggler, the dude, he only exists to sell. I don't think he's ever going to win anything major ever again, but he only exists to sell for people, and he's good at it. And
this was hilarious.
Yeah, that's about all I got to say on that.
With the Mandy Rose kiss at the end. It was going crazy.
It gives fat people like me.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a great moment. It was hilarious. And then we get more serious now. This is one of the ones that stood out to me. Edge versus Randy Orton.
I can't believe that was directly after that, but oh my God.
How long was it? Was it like 30, 40 minutes, wasn't it?
I want to say so. Probably, I think it was 30, but it felt like 30 at least, definitely. Without a doubt, that goes under one of the more brutal matches I've seen out of both of their careers. And I don't know, seeing the documentary afterwards where Edge said, I'm not going to come back just to be, less than I was. I want to be Edge when I come back. I want to be the big thing that you can put everything on. After seeing that last night, and hopefully them both going home without, hurting themselves, I really think he accomplished that. I mean, that just looked like the Edge of old. Actually, new and improved, really. I mean, the look, the shape he's in, and it just, God, it was so good.
It was epic. It was like, and we got a nice tour of the Performance Center too. It was crazy. And they just kept going into different areas and different gyms, and then they were on top. I saw that big ladder, and I was like, "Are they going to use that? Because that that would be insane." Yeah,
I know, that scared me. I was kind of hoping they'd go into like Triple H's office down there or something, and like grab the sledgehammer off the wall or whatever.
Oh man! And then watching the documentary on Edge and just his recovery and his journey to wanting to come back and being better than ever in the best shape of his life. It's just.
Well, no, I mean, to me, I listened to it, and he hadn't even thought about coming back. Like, it was just, he had accepted everything, a couple weeks in, he had accepted it. He was doing great, doing, like, guest spots on TV, he was happy. Everything was going fine. And then, just out of, like, happenstance, he seemed to think of it one day. He was just like, well, if I could do that, what's going on with this, And more doctors, gave him the clearance, and then the guy who declared him unfit 9 years ago was like, you know what, you're good.
It's crazy.
That gives me hope for people like Paige, who's young, and who knows, maybe after 4 or 5 years of retirement or something, maybe of resting and taking it easy, maybe she'll be allowed to come back.
Yeah, in some capacity. That would be great. Because it would be great for the women's division if she was still around.
Exactly.
What I thought was...
it'd be...
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just going to say Incredible Moon.
What I thought was very interesting was early on, I think it's probably AEW, they just didn't say it, that offered Edge to come back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that to me spoke volumes that he went to Vince first and talked to him about it. Just like the kind of guy Edge is.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he I think he said it. He owed everything to WWE. So, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons they're going to treat him so well during this run is that. This is how he handled things, and it wasn't any kind of prodding, anything like that. It was just, hey, this has now come up. This is the thing. I've been cleared. And what do you guys think? So I'm with you. That does speak volumes to his character, but I think he's going to have a great run. He's going to end on a high note.
Yeah. What do you think happens
in
now?
Style?
I mean, does he go end it on next WrestleMania, hopefully in front of an audience, or do you think?
Well, I hear he signed it like a 3-year contract. Yeah. So that gives us a little time to work with. What I hope we see is him feuding with people like AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, just maybe not Kevin Owens, but there's just a great group of like new people and big stars that he could feud with, and it would look good. Even Roman Reigns, like who has the right to the spear, or like I said, with AJ Styles, especially since he's going to need somebody to do something with, like two guys that have had to kind of pull their style back and not do as much like crazy stuff as they used to, who are both excellent wrestlers. Plus, you have the storyline wrap in of the Royal Rumble, like when Edge returned and hit Styles with the spear, and Styles separated his shoulder, and so he kind of may have lost something because of that, and that's a great like kind of tie-in to why these two need to be going at it. And they could have those two could probably have the feud of a year, and I'd watch it every time. Just watch them at SummerSlam go at it, and then blow them off for a little bit, and then maybe have them pick it back up around WrestleMania season or Rumble season. Have Styles eliminate Edge this year and be like, you know what, we need to settle this in like a well, maybe not a ladder match, but like something where those two can just have an incredible, like memorable WrestleMania match. And I would die a happy man. This is
just a one-off too. This is for a good couple years, possibly.
Yeah, he's also kind of got like the Cena type, not Cena, but more like Lesnar type, where he's not doing a whole lot of dates. He's doing important ones. He's not going to be on the road again or anything like that, but like he's doing important stuff. So like I said, I'd love to see him go at it with like AJ or Seth Rollins or somebody of that caliber.
That would be great. What's next for Orton?
I don't know. Nothing really makes sense other than maybe him going back after the title, but he's been on kind of a bit of a losing streak, so there's not going to be much reason for them to be like, sure. Yeah, you can have a title shot. Plus, with Money in the Bank coming up, that's going to be your next person that Drew McIntyre is really going to have to worry about defending his title from.
Yeah, we saw what happened last year. Brock got it and got his title back pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I hope they don't do another thing like that. Like, I like Brock Lesnar, I really do. He is a major draw, and he is a great reason for the layman to watch wrestling. But man alive, he
has like two moves.
He can't do a match. Well, no, he can't do a match that makes other people look good, it seems like, unless it's how much punishment that other person can take. Like he doesn't. Like, oh God, like the Rumble, right? He's in the match, and he's like, he eliminates 15 people. Great. That's wonderful. Ricochet comes out, has to kick him in the balls, basically do something dirty to kind of weaken him enough for him to get eliminated by McIntyre. It's just, he just he can't do a match where it makes the other guy look good.
If he did at all, he did kind of make McIntyre look good because of the struggle.
Yeah, but it's not a struggle that nobody else has gone through. Like, you think Roman Reigns, you think Strowman, you think pretty much anybody. I mean, Strowman's a perfect example. That was pretty much the exact same thing that happened between Strowman and Goldberg. It's just we liked it better. Yeah. Goldberg hit 3 finishers, or 4. Strowman hit 4 finishers. That was the end of the match. Goldberg comes out, hits the signature suplexes, starts throwing F5s, 2 or 3 of those. And McIntyre gets back up. Nothing else. Claymore kicks, and that's the end of the fight.
Yeah, true. I mean, he did survive a lot of the F-bombs, F5s.
Well, I know what you're saying, but that's a Lesnar match. That's the only way he makes people look good is like, okay, this guy can take a lot of punishment. Watch like Lesnar versus Rollins at last year's WrestleMania. Right. It's the same thing.
Yeah. True. Well, we covered that match. Okay, Raw Tag Team Championship. Street Profits and Angel Garza, Austin Theory.
I like they gave a couple talents in Garza and Theory a little time to shine. The right people won. The tag team division on Raw it needs some help because they don't have, like, SmackDown's got the most established teams in New Day and Usos. And I think even the Revival are technically on SmackDown right now. I'm not sure. They've got the more established tag team division. So Raw needs to do something about that because they've got like the Vikings, they've got Street Profits, and I can't think of any other really established tag team.
Machinery too.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's just not important. I'm glad who won, and yeah,
decent match though. I mean, it was entertaining.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, everybody got their time to shine, which is nice, especially for that Austin Theory kid who's just debuted. So
then we go to the women SmackDown Women's Championship.
Oh yeah,
Bayley versus
that was great. It just seemed safe, like very predictable. Like you knew Tamina was going to be the first out. You knew that it was either going to be Naomi or Lacey next. And then once there started being some kind of tension, something had to happen. Yeah. But then they didn't pull the trigger. Like they had the accident, and then they didn't have anybody get screwed over. In fact, Sasha came back in and helped Bayley win it, and it was for Lacey or Sasha. And nobody pulled the trigger. So they're right back to square one, except Sasha's a little pissed off with Bayley. That's it.
They could build on that, but that's predictable too.
Yeah. I would love to see a good, long Sasha Banks Bayley feud where I don't necessarily want either one of them to be a face because I think Bayley's work as a heel has been really good this year.
I love when she talks back to the commentators.
And yeah, that was pretty good.
No, I'm
not. I wish that had happened more often, like because you could clearly hear the commentators in person, and I was just like when when Michael Cole said something about, "Hey ref, it's just no disqualification, right?" And the ref was like, "Shit," and realized he shouldn't have done something he did. It was pretty good.
Oh man.
Oh
All
man.
right, so then we get to the Firefly Funhouse match.
Okay, so if the last one was predictable, this one I was pretty sure at some point I had dropped acid. I'm not even going to deny it. Like, I went into that and I was like, what is going on? This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I feel uncomfortable. And then they started doing these awesome things like with Cena going through his entire career. Bray going through parts of his career.
The retro stuff.
Oh my gosh. And Cena was not afraid to make fun of himself with the ruthless aggression whiff. We need to talk real quick, buddy. Okay, let's just. And then bringing back Dr. Thugonomics, except it wasn't even anywhere kind of a match for the Fiend, which I thought was great.
I know Cena does acting, but does Bray Wyatt do any acting that you know of?
Not off the top of my head, but it's possible. Yeah, and like I said, there was just so much craziness, and
I was honestly proud WWE did that. Like, just took a risk and kind of did something out of the box.
Like I said, like I was thinking last night, if the Boneyard match had something it was like these were both pre-taped on sets type thing, where the Boneyard match was just not what I was hoping for. It was mostly just Taker beating up AJ Styles, and it was, which is weird to me because like every review I've seen it on it so far has been like positive, and I can't stand it. But yeah, and then you come over to this Firefly Funhouse thing, and it was just this almost. It was the same thing. It was a lot of like weird camera stuff plus closed sets and stuff like that. But it was so much better in the end.
Yeah, it was, and it just made more sense with like the history of Cena, history of Bray Wyatt, their history at WrestleMania. It kind of just worked for the times, you know. I feel like it was really entertaining. Honestly, I was not ready for the next match. I was glad there was commercials after, so I could like process what just happened.
Oh God, without a doubt, yeah.
Same with you. I was like, did I take an edible? No, I didn't. But I was just like, that's what it felt like, a crazy trip.
I just remember us texting throughout the match, just because we were just trying to make sure. We were just like, this is crazy, right? Like, it's just
with the little animals too. The little animals, nuts, man. I think that was creepy too, in my opinion.
Those are all like established characters in the Firefly Funhouse series. Those are all little puppets and stuff. It's just so freaking funny, and it was just.
Oh man, it was great. I'm probably gonna rewatch that at some point.
But I would say, I think the coolest thing of it, right, was like towards the end of the match, they brought it back. And they were like, this is to end the overhyped, giving everything on a like John Cena's voiceover, and instead of being about Bray Wyatt, it's being about John Cena.
Exactly.
And then boom, hits the Abigail 1, 2, 3. And then just gone. I'm just like, did they erase him from history? What is going on?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, is he dead? Is he erased? I'm not sure. Is he stuck in the funhouse now?
If there's like a John Cena doll in the funhouse in the next one of these, I'm going to lose my shit. Like, I'm serious. There's like a little puppet John Cena, like, and it's just like, maybe in a cage or something. I am going to lose my shit.
That's a highly possible tonight. Or Friday, I guess it'd be Friday because Fiend's on Smackdown.
Yeah, I'd lose it.
I thought it was hilarious too that Vince McMahon had a doll.
Oh yeah, because the thing was with Bray Wyatt when he was Husky Harris is he was going to be fired because he was too big, that he really hadn't connected, so he went back to NXT, and that's when he developed the cult leader Bray Wyatt gimmick. And got that over, and so that was kind of that's where the Picky Harris thing comes from too. Is that was kind of his homage to his old Husky Harris thing.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Oh yeah, dude. The Firefly Funhouse since it debuted is on like YouTube, and just go watch the series because it's actually something to watch. It tells a lot of story, and it has a lot of really fun inside stuff. So it's definitely worth watching.
So they put them all together and put them on YouTube? Because I've seen a few of them off of the shows, but I haven't seen them all.
I think so.
Okay. I'll check it out. So yeah, the question is now, where does WWE go from here?
Well, like I said, there's a couple different. Sorry, my back was hurting.
You're good.
Like a second. There's a couple different storylines they could definitely take on. I think with Edge and Orton freed up after that. Edge proving that, he's not just back, he's Edge of old, or new and improved Edge. He goes on to have really great really great matches with younger talent and, just making everybody look good. Orton's kind of in his normal spot of just tell me what to do, RKO something, and then, we'll have a good match. Maybe they'll give him a title or something at some point. I don't know. Rollins is actually one of the people I'm kind of interested to see where it goes more than anything. He's, the Monday Night Messiah. He's down a couple disciples, and now he's taken a major loss. So I kind of want to see what's going to happen with him.
I did rewatch it before last night's show. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was definitely very fun. So I look forward to seeing where that goes. Kevin Owens, I kind of hope is one of McIntyre's first challenge, McIntyre's first challengers. Having proven that he's, capable of beating the Monday Night Messiah, and I'd like to see him and McIntyre go at it. That'd be pretty good.
Do you think he gets the Money in the Bank?
I'd love it. Like, he's one of those people that, like, if you gave it to him, there's potential that after any match he could come out, hit a stunner, and there's your new champ and, a new storyline. Other than that, the women, I'm not sure what happens. It would have been a lot easier for Baszler to win.
It would have, yeah.
And
Charlotte got her worst WrestleMania victory.
Exactly, and it would have been a lot easier to do stuff if she had won than now with Becky, because Becky's beaten everybody.
Yeah, literally everybody.
And
she has.
Same thing with Bayley.
She has beat everybody.
Exactly. Same thing with Bayley. Like, you've kind of gone through your entire SmackDown women's division, but for whatever reason, they're still the champs. And unless some debut happens the night after WrestleMania, or tonight, which I don't think they're going to do on an empty.
From my understanding,
really saddens me. So
everything for this week.
Okay, well,
so I don't know.
Let's.
I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah. Let's just hope that they do something kind of interesting, because the night after WrestleMania is always kind of one to watch, and I hope they continue.
Don't they establish like some of the call-ups and everything, like?
Yeah, exactly. Like call-ups or big power moves, like if AJ went to SmackDown,
like Charlotte's going to be an
that kind of thing
now, right?
Always happens. Yeah, again, that's
strange.
just so. I think I said it yesterday that if Charlotte won the title, or when Charlotte won the title, she doesn't really have anybody other than like Ripley or maybe Bianca Belair, because she was established more last night.
Yeah, she might have something to do with the Street Profits
as a threat. Yeah, put the black girl with the black tag team. That's
ruthless aggression. That's some good shit.
Or what's their big thing?
Yeah,
we want to smoke. Like, oh my god! I was thinking about it the other night. Like, can we not have some kind of minority not be have some kind of like weird gimmick to them. Like you think about the
Truth,
oh
Booker
god,
T.
the you think Crime Time, where they were all about stealing and being gangsta, and two young black men, and then you got freaking these two who were again, all about being gangster and hustling and
Red Solo Cups.
smoking and partying, and it. I mean, good Lord, man, it's just it's so bad sometimes. Oh God, who was the other guy? I was just thinking. Oh, bugger. There was one other one that was really bad recently. Oh, hell's bells. Jinder Mahal. I mean, hell. He went from being just like this muscle-bound jack guy, and then he goes full-on Maharaja. And
Gronk, he's a champ now. He's 24/7 champ. Randomly.
Oh Lord. Well, yeah. That'll be fun for a minute. That 24/7 champion is that title is just so fun to play with, because you can do some crazy stuff with it. So I'm kind of hoping they do some fun stuff with Gronk, because he's always a character.
Definitely. I saw they're going through with the Money in the Bank. I mean, they're still that same date. As far as I know, they haven't been postponed yet.
We'll see. Hopefully. Unfortunately, that would be bad social distancing, so they can't, have 6 guys in the ring and do all that. I don't.
Well, I know. I don't. That's the thing. Like, would they push it, to a later date? I don't know. Put something else there.
I guess if they highly sanitize the ladders, I don't know.
That's gonna be interesting. Did you see the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer?
On
a side note.
I actually that is being shipped to me because nice. I pre-ordered it. So
that's your favorite one, right?
I'm looking.
That's your favorite Final Fantasy?
Huh? Yep, absolutely. Though this one is going to be much different. It may even be in 2. From hearing, it's going to be in 2 discs because it's just so vastly different. So we'll see how that goes.
Red Dead Redemption 2 came. It came with 2 discs. One disc was you had to load it onto your PS4. And it was like 100 gigs. And then the other one was a play disc. So
I remember you talking about it that day. You're just like, 5 hours!
I waited like 10 years for the game to come out. And then I get the game. Like, I'm sorry, I'm from the old school days where you put the disc in, you played the game. You put it in, you play it, and that's it.
Yeah, that's just too.
But this is like 5 hours, and then it's like, please insert the other disc, the play disc. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like another at least an hour, maybe 45. And then there were the online updates on top of that. So it...
Oh, God.
10 years plus 8 hours. That's what I did, But
I
haven't even... The thing is, I haven't even, played it. I was so turned off by the load time.
That's the great part. That's why I kind of like digitally downloading stuff nowadays. It's just like I pre-ordered the One Piece game, the new one that just came out, Pirate Warriors 4, and it downloaded for me 24 hours before, it gave me a little 24-hour countdown the day before it was to be released, right? And then 4 hours before it was even going to be allowed to be played, I saw it start downloading. And then it downloaded and updated and did all the stuff. And so right when I was supposed to be allowed to play it, boom, it's ready to go.
That's what I'm talking about. I guess if I had gone digital with Red Dead, it might have set it up for me like that. But who knows? That's awesome, though, that they're doing that.
Exactly. So overall, WrestleMania, I loved it. It was a good WrestleMania. I was very happy with what they had to work with, what they came up with. It did have some low points, that Boneyard match being the low point for me. But overall, like night one, night two, I definitely give it a high B, low A. It was just,
yeah,
it was for what they had to do and what they had to, end up working with.
Night
it was
two
a great
was entertaining,
WrestleMania.
and it went by pretty good. The pace was really nice. I wonder if they're going to keep the 2-night thing going forward.
I don't know. I think the only reason they did 2 nights is they realized that, that was 7 hours of what we end up, because it was like 7 hours total, or 7 hours of watching, and hearing it that way just wouldn't have gone well. So I think it was smart of them to break it up, and it was smart of them to do it the way they did. It worked out,
and it was a great, entertaining weekend for wrestling and just for sports fans in general. Hopefully people signed up or were able to watch it. I don't know if it was, I think it was like free for just to watch it or something. I'm not sure. The rules were, I heard conflicting things about the network, but it was a great night. Hopefully next year we get it live in Hollywood.
Yeah, that I like that they're going back to Hollywood, because the last time they did Hollywood, they went like all out. They did where Cena came out to like the gangster type theme, and even CM Punk was involved.
Oh, they're gonna get The Rock for this in some capacity.
It was very. Oh,
yeah,
Batista or something. Yeah, just there's so. And like last time, they did a bunch of vignettes where wrestlers like recreated famous movie scenes. It was just like, I hope they take it like they did last time, because that'd be pretty great.
Well, man, thanks for coming on again.
Like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I know I look like I'm lazing about on a Sunday afternoon or whatever, but that's what you get with low back problems. But anyway, thank you for very, very much for having me on. It's an absolute pleasure. And anytime you want to chat wrestling or anything else, you know where to call.
Man. We'll get on that Borderlands pretty soon.
Yeah, as soon as GameStop opens back up and I can go get a headset.
True that. All right, man. You take care.
Whoever, if you get cats, keep them away from cords. That's all I got to say.
You guys take care. Stay safe. And I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yes, sir.